We're focusing on your driver, and the answers you've given us indicate you have what we would call a push slice. So a shot that starts to the right and then curves further right through the air. This tells us that the one thing we need to focus on to begin with in your golf swing is that we must close the face earlier. You have an open club face, and when the club face points to the right of the direction of the swing, the ball is going to curve to the right through the air. Now at this point we can't determine exactly what your swing direction is through impact. You could have an out to in swing, a reasonably neutral swing, or an in to out swing. All of these three can produce a push slice if the club face is open the right amount. So if we can start by closing the face a little earlier, we will get the curve in the ball flight to be reduced. And obviously that means the ball is going to finish closer or on target. Once the ball starts to hit the target, you can then see the shot shape that you have, if there is any, and determine whether you want to make changes to your swing path or whether you're quite happy with that shot and you're going to play with it as it is. If that's the case, you've cured your problem with one fix. Simplest way possible would be to close the face. So, the closing and the opening of the face is caused by the rotating of the club around its shaft. We hold the grip end, of course, so how we influence the club face is through a twisting on the grip end. If I twist this grip to my right, the face is going to open, and if I twist this grip to my left, the face is going to close. With every golf swing, it's important to understand that as you take the club from setup through the backswing and up to the top, there is always going to be quite a lot of opening, and this happens in every golf swing. Now some players open it far more and some players open it less, but there is always some opening. And that means your job from the top of the swing down to impact is to close it again. Clearly if your ball is curving right, you're not closing the face soon enough. So you're starting reasonably well, you're opening the face, and then you're leaving it open as you come to impact. So what does this look like if we try and isolate the movement? During the backswing, the club is rotating to the right, so it's open. During the downswing, it will be closing, just not quite enough. And after impact, there will be more closing, which means the face will go from open to square and to closed, but it will be too late. It will be after you've already hit the ball. So what we need to do, somewhere between the top of the swing and impact, is to get you to rotate this club a little more than you are now, so that the face gets back closer to square. And that's going to give us a more neutral ball flight. So, if we take a position in the swing, so up to the top, bring it down to about hip height. Most people would call this the delivery position. And from here, from a static position, let's give the shaft a little twist to the left and a little twist to the right, and see what happens to the club face. The toe moves back when you twist it to the right, and then it moves forward and ultimately down as you twist the club to the left. Now this is the movement that we want. We want a twisting of this shaft to the left to happen more than you're currently doing, somewhere from the top of the swing to impact. Now, some players do it very early on. Some players do it as a gradual move all the way to impact. And some players will wait quite a long time and do it at the very last moment. I would suggest that leaving it to the very last moment is probably the hardest of the three. And if we can get some of this job done on the way down, we're going to have less to do at the bottom of the swing, which is of course the fastest part of the swing. If you swing to the top, bring it down to hip height and stop, add a little twist, and see how you get that face to point more down towards the ground. So let's see if you can go to the top, come down and stop here, having already twisted the club and pointed the face at the floor. So up to the top, down to hip height, and point the face down at the floor. Now this is a club face that's gone from very open towards square, but it won't be square yet. So there is still some work to do from here to impact. And that work is to continue the twisting of the grip. We have to continue the rotating of the club. You could call it the rolling over of the club, so that the toe of the club catches up to the heel. So first move, bring it down and stop and feel you've added this little bit of twist. Second move, bring it down towards impact and stop around where the ball would be. And an exaggerated move here would be to get the toe of the club to reach the ball first. So the toe of the club has overtaken the heel and it's now at the ball before the heel is. Now this would be an exaggerated move. This would produce shots that turn left. Obviously we don't want to go from the trees on the right to the trees on the left, but if we did, it would show that we've made the right move, we've just exaggerated it, and that would be a good sign. What we could then do is ease back off of that, still apply the twisting, just slightly less aggressive. Okay, so again, up to the top, down to hip height, feel we've added a little bit of that twist, to impact, add some more. Now let's see if we can do it with some flow and let the club continue through to the finish. And we're trying to make sure we're feeling a bit of a twist on the way down and a bit of a twist into impact and then all the way through into the finish. If we time this twisting correctly, we're going to arrive at impact reasonably square and we're going to have a more neutral ball flight. So let's give that a try. We come down, we add some twist, we add a little bit more twist into impact. You can make the first few swings a bit slower than normal and see if we can get this ball to go either straight or curve left.